Crossing borders internationally, the Israeli government and Palestinian Hamas group have reached an agreement that will halt hostilities between them in Gaza. The deal will also see the gradual release of Palestinian hostages, as Marion Barassa reports.
Scenes of fireworks and celebrations of joy were seen in Gaza after an imminent ceasefire and captive release deal was announced, possibly ending 15 months of animosity and war between Israel and Hamas. According to Qatari Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani, the ceasefire and hostage deal will come into effect on Sunday once it is approved by the Israeli cabinet. Before the first 6-week phase of the ceasefire agreement begins, Qatar's Prime Minister called for calmness from both Israel and Hamas, saying that 33 hostages, including women, children and the elderly, will be traded for Palestinian inmates in Israeli prisons. Efforts to end the war between Israel and Hamas is attributed to both U.S. President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump, who took credit on Wednesday for the ceasefire agreement for hostages in Gaza that had been negotiated for months and was facilitated by a Trump envoy.
Fighting in Gaza will stop, and soon the hostages will return home to their families.
Despite news of the ceasefire deal, Israel has not stopped launching airstrikes, with at least 72 individuals being reported dead after an airstrike on the Strip of Gaza was reported today. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has congratulated U.S. President Joe Biden for promoting the peace deal, saying the final terms and release of captives is still being worked out. Reporting for KTN, Marion Barassa.
Well, that story brings us to a conclusion right here on KTN Prime, but we just want to recap what we asked you tonight on the big question emanating from the legal battles that are facing the university funding model. Just as we reported earlier, first and second year students won't have to pay for fees until that case is heard and determined, where the government has appealed the ruling that declared the funding model unconstitutional. We asked you, should the government discard the university funding model? Let me take a look at one or two replies. Hi, Jesse. Old model that funded university students remains the best option. The present formula is complicated. After all, the student pays the loan, not their parents, rich or poor. My opinion. That's Ganze Daniel from Mombasa. That's all the time we had for you. Thank you so much for keeping it KTN and watching us as we bring you up to speed with the very latest. My name is Jesse Rogers. Our sign language interpreter is Meresha Owiti. Good evening and good night.